Welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas. I did not have the bandwidth or the energy to get on the Vlogmas bandwagon. I planned on it this year, and then I got a job. And I knew that during my first official finals week, when I barely knew my own students, writing exams for the very first time in my career. I have taught before, but I've never been the lecturer. I was always a TA. So this has all been a new experience for me, and it's a lot. And it is the busiest time of our semester, that mad dash from Thanksgiving break to finals week. I proctored my last final yesterday. So I have grading to do. And that's it. And then I'm on my winter break, which I have tons of work to do over winter break to prepare for next semester. But we're on break, and I will then have more freedom. So it kind of worked perfectly. I did the math to see like 12 days of Christmas, if I could do that instead. And it landed the day after my last final. I was like, oh, that's kind of perfect. But the reality is, I started a new job. And I'm just going to be honest, I didn't have that in me. I could not handle or keep up with a whole month. And in addition to that, we weren't really doing a ton of fun stuff. It was a lot of homeschool stuff. Getting back, I just basically didn't have the ability to do that. I am an adult with disabilities, and I just got a new job, and I'm homeschooling. And it just, I needed to take a step back, and I really am glad I did. So I'm really excited to be here. Today on the docket, we have, I was just watching Karen court videos. Karen's caught lying in court. It's pretty good. Anyway, up on the docket, we have flu shots coming up, and in one of the clips, you'll see my son and I going over some more breathing techniques and meditation techniques and affirmations that he can say to himself while we're there. But it's just annual flu and boosters, COVID boosters. So nothing exciting. Then we're coming home. We'll have some school time. I don't know what will get done today. I haven't even looked yet. But my main priority today is getting laundry done. I'm not sure if I'll get to packing. We leave on Friday for our Christmas vacation. So I don't know if I'll start packing or just get laundry done and work on sheets and bedding. We'll see. I don't ever have a this has to be done list. It's usually a what gets done list, school included. But we'll see what we get done today. I'll probably get science with the kids, usually on our days at home, and I get like the science lessons and history lessons done, so we don't have to take big books, and science has labs sometimes. So we'll probably get some of that done. And then the kids and I are gonna we did this activity at co-op the past 2 weeks. I brought the craft 2 weeks ago, and then I just don't unload my co-op bags. So I brought it the second week because it was still in the bag. Anyway, but it was a hit, 2 weeks. And so I'll insert a picture real quick of some of the finished ones, or like the picture from Pinterest or whatever. But they're little ornaments that look like knitted hats. And you use toilet paper tubes, you cut little strips of them for the brim, and then loop yarn onto the brim, and then you tie it at the top and create a little pom-pom. And then you can just slip some yarn in and make it an ornament. And I asked my son if he would like to do those for gifts for like family members this year. So we're gonna work on those today. You'll probably get some no, it's a Tuesday. Actually, it's finals week though. You'll probably get some footage of my husband and I. We are playing Harry Potter Battle, and we've been playing it all week. It's a board game, and you do 7 different years, and each year gets progressively harder. New game elements are introduced, and each night we've been playing 1 or 2 rounds. But we did year 6 last night, and had to pause because it was like 10:20 and we're old and like to go to bed. Usually we're going upstairs at 10 and 10:30 is like the latest. We're like, oh, it's 10:30. It's definitely time for bed. So we went upstairs and just left it out on our table. So it's out there, but we'll probably finish that tonight. I'm pretty sure he's home. But yeah, that's what we got today. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in here real quick. We already went and got shots, which I did not do it this way intentionally, but we got them done at 9:30, and I'm really glad we didn't have the whole day for kids to be anxious. So that was nice. I'm gonna show you a project that I'm working on and a yarn. So first, let's look at the project. I have not shown you guys this yet, but this is the Ash Bark Blanket by Pearl Soho, and it's a free pattern. It calls for, well, let's see it first. So it is these beautiful diamond cables with this textured stitch that's traveling. I love it so much. I did sub, so the pattern it has a throw blanket and a crib blanket, and it is written for fingering weight cotton. However, I went and bought not cotton. I don't know if I've talked about this. I'm sure I have. I say it all the time. I can't knit with cotton. I can't crochet with cotton either. I have sensory processing disorder, and cotton is one of those things that I just can't touch. Like, it seriously makes me cringe. And I don't have that issue in like cotton clothing. It is yarn, and I don't know if that's part of the processing. I don't know what it is, but I have a really hard time working with cotton. So I bought Bernat Softy Baby, and it is not a fingering either. It is a DK weight. So I got this lovely gray because we do not know if it will be a boy or a girl, and so I didn't want to go like bright pink, right? So I wanted something neutral. But I used a DK weight instead of a fingering weight, and so my blanket's gonna be larger. And because of that, I cast on the stitches for the crib blanket, thinking it would be large. There are 9 body repeats, and I am almost to the end of 5. So I do not think I'll get to 9. I do want to make sure it's a good shape, like a rectangle. But I mean, it's getting there, right? So I also love, look at the rib, like at the bottom, it just goes straight down and ends. Oh, I love this pattern. I absolutely would knit it again. It's a blanket, it's knit flat, so you always have a row of straight, which is nice, like 1 row of pattern, 1 row of straight, and there is a point where you get 3 rows straight in pattern, so that's kind of nice. It's been pretty vanilla. I've taken it with me. Now, however, it's too large. Like, it's getting big where if it's not, I'm not pulling it out to sit for a while and do a few rows, it's not worth it. So I've been working on for my vanilla knitting. Man, I don't even remember. I don't have my podcast notes, what I have talked about and what I haven't. But I am making a base layer hat out of some Knit Picks Hawthorn that I had in stash. I am gonna get the name wrong, but I want to say it was Brooklyn, but I don't know. I could totally have made that up. But it's really pretty. This is for me. I pinhole cast on. I am doing 4 increases. And the way that I do this, don't think I've talked about this yet either, is I knit, okay, so I measure the head of the recipient. I take 2 inches off of the total measurement, so 2 inches of negative ease for the hat. And then I plug it into the handy dandy circumference calculator. And as I'm doing my increases, I can stop once I get to a certain diameter. So the circumference formula is circumference equals 2 pi times r, or your diameter times pi. So I would take this desired circumference, which includes the negative ease. So take the not your measurement, but the measurement minus 2 inches. Set that equal to pi times the unknown denominator, diameter, and then divide. So what I'm solving for is I am solving for diameter equals circumference over pi. So my circumference divided by pi will give me however many increases I need. So I just measure my diameter until I get to that number. And then I start straight. There is, once you stop increasing, kind of a little extra, which is why I take 2 inches off for my negative ease, because that kind of compensates for that little bit of a difference in this technique. I like this technique because it really gives you a perfect fit, and I don't have to keep trying a hat on. I just measure really quickly my circle diameter of the crown. So I started that, and then I'm gonna do a folded brim. It's just gonna be a base layer for like under a shell. And that has been my vanilla knitting. And the last thing I'm gonna show you really quickly is this yarn. Again, how many times? I think I've said it, I know twice, but probably more. Never judge yarn you dye until you have skeined it up or used it. I have had this yarn, it was hand painted, so I laid it flat and did stripes of rainbow. I wonder if I have a picture. I probably do. I'll put one up if I've got it, from when I dyed it. It was super patchy. It was not great. And forever, my plan for this yarn was to core spin with it, and core spin with a black. And kind of lazy core spin so that the color popped through. And I thought that would make a really fun art yarn. Then for co-op, I decided to take a craft that used yarn, and I grabbed the myriad of scraps that I have. And so I skeined this up to take with me to co-op to just let the kids use. I was gonna say, you know what? I really just don't need this. I don't like it. Guys, look at it skeined or caked up. I can't. It's so good, and the colors aren't like blending and muddying together. They're very distinct, and it just makes me think of like a rainbow gumball or a jawbreaker, candy of some sort. But anyway, it's fabulous, and I mean, it might not be perfect, but I am much happier with it, and I am kicking myself because this has been in stash for like 2 years, and I have hated it, like not enjoyed it at all. And it's amazing. I did not give it time to shine. But anyway, so I finally threw socks at my kids and told them where to put the dirties so that it didn't get run through their normal laundry. And they have both asked for more socks, which I think is fabulous, and I love that. So Eli said that he would like more socks out of this. So that's what I'm gonna do with this, and I will probably take it with me on our vacation. We are leaving Friday to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is where my sister lives, and she has the weekend, this coming weekend off, and then the next weekend off, but works that week. So we're gonna go and stay the whole time and we have friends in Delaware, and hopefully we get to go to Baltimore. But all kinds of fun stuff planned that we're really excited about. So we're going there, and I'm planning which projects are coming with me. And I think this is going to be my vanilla knitting after that hat gets cast off. Anyway, update. We have a craft we're going to do this afternoon. My kids are eating lunch. I'm about to eat some lunch. I worked on making solutions. And I have a huge stack of papers to grade. This is mine. I'm not showing you a student's work. This is solutions, which is why they're in red. But yeah, so I have a huge stack of papers of finals to grade, and then I have final projects coming in Wednesday, so I'll grade those. But I really want to get all of my stuff done, at least graded, and final grades are due next Tuesday. So I might wait until Monday to punch them in. I don't know. We'll see how all that goes. But I want to get all the grading done at least until before we leave on Friday. We'll see. I never stick to a plan. Okay, friends, it is 2:45 and I have gotten both kids done with math. Stella has language arts done, and Eli just finished history and is going to take a break. History takes him a while. He does handwriting with it, and writing by hand is hard for him, but he has the choice of typing in history, and it's like summary sentences. It's not very long. His curriculum is teaching him outlining at this point. So he has a choice. Either he can do that on the computer and do a workbook practice to practice some of his handwriting, but he does not want to do that, and it is his choice. So we will continue. I graded 2 questions on my statistics final, which does not seem like a lot, but I did the 2 of the harder and longer questions to grade. So it feels productive. There are 12 questions on it, and some of those will take 2 seconds to grade. But our neighbor just came over, our neighbor friend. We have another homeschool family in our neighborhood that we actually met. My neighbor introduced me to her when we were trick-or-treating. They knew each other, but then I also independently met her at my knitting group, which is fun. So the mom and I are friends and go to have the same knit group, and then the kids are all really close. So the older kids usually still have school to do, and the younger kids are usually done early. So they play a lot on our home days. They just come play here while I get more work done with Eli, who's in middle school. So it works really well. So I think we were about to watch a documentary, but I think what I'm going to do is keep grading and then get a science lesson in with Eli. I'm behind on laundry because my son forgot to start his. He put it in and didn't turn it on. I get it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Hey guys, it is 8:30 now. Big gap. Our evening is winding down. I ended up getting like 5 loads of laundry done. And when my husband came home, he told me that he already washed my son's sheets this weekend. So 3 of those loads. Sheets, there are 2 beds that he sleeps in. He sleeps in the guest bed a lot because it's a bigger bed. He likes that it's taller. So I did both of those beds and count that as his sheets. But it was 3 loads because I was getting comforters and things like that. And that had all been done this weekend. So that is discouraging. I did finish grading all of my statistics finals. That was good. I did not think I would get through grading them all today. And I did. I powered through that because I had somebody entertaining Stella this afternoon. Thank you, Meredith. She stayed till probably about a little after 5 or almost 5. So that was really helpful. And I got a science lesson in with Eli. We did inheritance, which I already told you guys about the game Genotype. So you already know how excited I probably was about this lesson today. So we spent a good 45 minutes on it. We were going to watch a documentary on a PBS documentary on pyramids, but we did not get to that today, and it'll happen tomorrow, which is kind of fun. What else did we do? It was just low key. We got another subject in, made dinner. I finished grading. My husband ended up staying on campus late instead of going back tomorrow. So he just stayed for a few extra hours. So he got home a little later and he's kind of decompressing now. I'm sitting next to the last load of laundry that needs to be put away, and it is mine. And I am giving myself permission to not put it away because I am extremely discouraged from today. And we got a lot done, regardless. Anyway, and I'm exhausted from grading. I know it might sound silly, especially when it's an exam. You grade carefully and cautiously, and you want to pay very good attention to it. And a lot of times it means you're sifting through people's work and trying to understand what they were thinking so that you can give them as many points as you can, right? Or give them as many points as they deserve for understanding the material. Typically, I've taught algebra in the past, and statistics is all like decimals and all this stuff. It's a lot harder to sift through the work, in my opinion. So I feel drained. Like, I feel exhausted. My kid's bedtime alarm just went off, so I'm going to put them to bed and head downstairs and see if Colin wants to play a game. And if he doesn't, honestly, I'm so tired and emotionally drained that I will sit and work on this baby blanket that needs to be finished by our trip. So if you don't see any more clips, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.